Hello, and welcome back to another section of Conscious Dating Online with Francis Mahan. I'm your host. Today, my conversation will be about attraction and behavior. Why do we attract people in our life with the same characteristic and behavior? Have you ever asked yourself while dating, whether it is online or offline, why do I seem to attract the same type of behavior in men, although they're different physically, in appearance, and maybe even in way of thinking? But perhaps their behavior is very similar to someone that we have dated before. But we had a little bit of emotional controversy with people of this nature. Emotional behavior is an arousal that we have an affinity to other people, whether it is in social or in physical attraction. We meet someone and we are attracted to them, and sometimes we don't know what is it that they have a characteristic or a stereotype of someone that we dated before, or perhaps it is a blind spot within ourselves. Have you ever looked at someone in a photo and you found like there was something familiar about this person, something that attracted you, but you didn't know what it was? It is called a past emotional behavior that you yourself as an individual have not let go of. Therefore, you keep attracting those people into your life until you learn to settle those emotional experiences and allow them to move out of you, the individual, and your deep embedded emotions that you have from a past experience, a past relationship, or past behavior from friends, siblings, family, who knows where it came from. I'm going to give you an example about Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey said in a video that when she was growing up, she was being bullied by her friends in school. But she was of a mixed race. Sometimes she did not where she belonged to, whether she belonged in a white race or black. She was confused as a child. Her mother was a singer, and her mother always said to her, "You will never be as good as I am," which is not a good encouragement, and we have to forgive people for the way they express themselves. However, such words have such a high impact on the emotional well being and behavior of a child. She used to restrain herself from her friends, and most of her friends were white, but they saw her as a black girl and they will call her black. So she grew up with this feeling of inferiority. And what happened to her? She attracted a man that acted in a way that made her feel inferior. He controlled her, he kept her captive, and he did not allow herself to be free. She wasn't a free person. In other words, she was still a slave of her own emotional behavior from past experience. The same thing can happen to us as adults. We can find ourselves being attracted to a stereotype of characteristic and behavior of an individual and not know why. Why is it that I am attracted to this person? And we think it's the best feeling ever. When it happened, we think we have attracted the soulmate of our life, the perfect partner, the one that perhaps we can create a lasting, committed relationship with, not knowing that there is something to be mended through the process of that relationship. You learn how to mend those emotional attachment and behavior that have lead you to be in a situation where you are at the moment, being attracted with the same type of personality. Until we recognize as individual why we are attracted to these people, we're not going to get rid of those attractions and those arousal in public places, in social gathering, in dating sites, online, because we can look at a photo and be impressed by the person, not so much the words. Sometimes, yes, we're impressed by the words and their profile, but we need to be careful sometimes if we get that feeling so quickly as to we feel such a deep attraction to a person that we barely know online or offline. Isn't it so that a lot of women say they attract men that always have the same characteristic? And why am I attracting these people? Well, past experience and emotions and your behavior also is attracting that into your life. They say you attract who you are, how you behave, what is happening to you at the moment. Those feelings, emotion, and past experiences, it's part of you. It's part of your demeanor, your behavior, your lack of confidence, your insecurity, your fears, and that is what you will attract into your life. Dr. Jerome Singer and Stanley Sasher say that people psychologically attract into their life their past emotions and their past experiences, and it becomes an emotional arousal with their behavior that they think is such a good feeling, such a good influence in our life. Not to know that perhaps deep inside something needs to change, something needs to be transformed, something needs to be understood, and something needs to move on in order for a person, you, I, or anyone experiencing these feelings to be able to allow to let go and begin anew and enter into a loving, kind, intimate relationship. Sometimes it is not so much the emotions and the behavior, but the past experiences in relationship with people that are either mental and physically or verbally abusive, narcissists, people with ego, control freak, just like Mariah and her ex husband, that want to control you and not allow you to be a free human being who is able to express its own feelings and emotion freely to the world, to be a normal human being. This is very important for people that try to go online and they don't understand why. It doesn't matter which side you go on, whether it is Match online or whatever side you decide to go, you always pick a certain type of men or women that have the same type of behavior, not knowing, not understanding, not trying to go deep inside and figuring out why. Then you have to go through the pain, the experience, the emotion, the detachment, the ugliness, because it always end up in the same circle. It always end up in the same circle of negativity, disappointment, painful experiences, going through trauma, detachment. It's a vicious circle until you are healed, until you let it go, until you move on, until you detach. Once you do that, you can freely move on and now be able to draw these people into your environment, your feelings, your emotion with your behavior. Because once your behavior as an individual changes, then everything else outside of you will also change. Everything will transform and you will bring people into your environment that are similar to the experience and emotions that you are feeling at the time. You're feeling happy, you're feeling confident, you don't have that fear, you recognize what is and what is not, and you understand when you get that vibration that you need to detach yourself from something of that nature and try to continue to see what else is out there that you can connect with at a more loving and connecting level than the previous experiences you have had before. This stands the reason why today Mariah Carey is a happy person and she's able to understand the transition she's going through because she had to go through all these turmoil of racism and insecurity and fear and suppression from someone, just like someone out there may be going through, in order to understand that you matter, that your behavior has an impact, that your past experience and emotions affect everything that you attract into your life, whether it is from parents, siblings, friends, abusive relationship, or whatever nature it is. It is imperative to recognize why do we attract the kind of people that we do into our life. And it doesn't matter whether it is dating online or friendship, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, family, friends, anyone. I thank you for listening. It has been a pleasure, as usual, to be with you once again here to awaken you into the understanding of behavior and the characteristic of people that we bring into our life as a form of attraction, arousal, and emotional and psychological infinity that we have together with other people. Have a wonderful Sunday and a wonderful week. Love and light. This is Francis Mahan, your host from Conscious State. Goodbye.